Hey guys, so it doesn't look like anyone's actually actively watching, so I'm just going to quickly go through this so we have this on record. So, for the performance task, you hopefully have already done your research, and some people have already turned that in. So, good. If you haven't done it, just get it in. I'm going to be extremely lenient with late work because I get it's weird for everyone right now. What you should be working on, which is due tomorrow, is your model. So this, remember, is something that you are going to draw, or someone in your group, or you draw it together. But this model needs to be drawn by your group. Some people accidentally thought they could just find a model. No, no, I do want it drawn by you. I can normally tell the difference between professional work and your work. Not that it doesn't look good, but they tend to look different. After that, you want to do a social media post. If you have any questions about that, I'll absolutely answer them. But I have a lot of good recommendations, especially if you have a well drawn model. I would use that model as part of your social media post because if you post a wall of text, nobody wants to read that. If you post a picture with a short description, much more likely be viewed and read and understood. And then you also want to work on your persuasive letter draft. So there is a page going over it if you're not sure how to get started, which kind of makes it a little bit more fill in the blank, which hopefully makes it easier. But obviously, start with who you're addressing it to, your date, your topic, introduce it, as well as your reasoning, like why is this important? Why is this important to your audience? And then what should be done about it. So, whatever your research shows is best, or what are action plans you can take, that's where you want to talk about this and sort of close it out neatly. When you do your rough drafts, it's fine. It can be rough. I would definitely talk to people in your group so that you have a nice final draft because I'm actually going to print and mail these out. Might be in a slightly different time frame because of the weirdness going on, but I actually live in walking distance to a post office. So we are going to print and send these. As far as the Earth energy model, so remember, you're modeling both your feedback loop and how the energy functions in your feedback loop. I think on the last stream, I did do one where I went into it. If anyone wants me to do another example, let me know. Tell me what you want me to do an example of. Or that's really all I wanted to say. I just wanted to, touch base, keep in contact, say thanks to the people who have gone on to the new Google Classroom. So I still only have about 50 to 70% participation on each Google Classroom. So if you have not already, go to the new Google Classroom. In case you're wondering why these are not posted, you're probably in the old classroom. You need one of what, Micaiah? The packet? The packet is in the materials section on the Google Classroom, so you can absolutely find it there. I think it's just listed under performance tasks or energy, but there is absolutely this in the materials section, so I don't have any hard copies that I can hand out, but you can find the soft copy of this on the Google Classroom. Good question, Micaiah. Feel free to contact me personally if you need it. Any other questions before I go? I'll show the dog one last time too, if you guys want me to. But that was kind of it. I don't think there's a whole lot to go over. If there is any questions, again, I will answer them. But if not, we'll call it a day, and hopefully you guys are able to get some of the work done. I didn't answer the email? I thought I did answer your email, Micaiah. Oh, maybe I never sent it because I did see it and read it and thought I responded, but I'll go and look at that. Eileen, are we supposed to do the separate document together? And so I would like you guys to kind of do a rough draft on your own, but your final draft, great question, is definitely just one draft. We're not going to send 24 letters per classroom. We're going to maybe send like 5, depending on how big your groups are. So for your persuasive letter draft, it's okay if you work together. I'm really not grading that. For your final draft, absolutely, I would work together. Same thing with the model. I would work together on it. Like each person can contribute. You can either do an online doc or you can just draw pictures together and FaceTime each other. It's up to you. This can be done either like on a computer or tablet, or it can be just hand drawn is fine. Great question though. Oh, we got a couple more people. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be very lenient with grading. I do know the difference between your best work and I threw something together. Yes, the persuasive letter, it can only you only want one for the whole group. You all should work on it, but the idea is that we want just one really strong letter. So on that note, since you are going to be working in a team, I do have much higher expectations for the letter because it's not one person's work, it's maybe three people's work. So I am going to expect this to look a little more polished, especially because we're sending it out. So you're sending it to other people. I'm not the audience here. I'm going to read them, but we are going to be sending it to whichever politicians or organizations or groups you want to send these to. If you're working on yours by yourself, I still am going to hold you to higher expectations. I'm going to be obviously a little more lenient with grading, but either way, it's still getting sent out. The audience will be the same. So make sure, because I know a lot of times you guys, I don't even think you do spell check when you turn in your final draft. Spell check it, read over it, have your parents read over it, or someone at home who's also stuck at home with you read over it and check if it sounds good, if it sounds professional. So do you send it in as a group or send it in separately? So for your persuasive, for the draft, I would like you to send them separately just so I can get an idea of what different people are thinking. For the final draft, you just turn in one copy as a group. And so I'm trying to think what's easier to grade right now. It would be better if, just turn in one copy for your final draft. Please also turn it in to turnitin.com just because they want us to use it. We've already paid for the subscription. So just turn one in. And also that'll let me know if you accidentally plagiarize some of your research websites, because be careful about that, because if we're sending them out officially, that could actually get us in some trouble. So make sure you're using your own words, even if you're using resource, or cite the resources correctly. But so for your final draft, to finish Janeth's question, is turn in only one copy. However, turn one into turnitin.com and also turn it into Google Classroom. Make sure everyone's name is on it. If only one name is on it, I'm only going to give one grade for it. So when is this all due? So your research was due, I believe, Monday. Your model is due tomorrow. Your social media post, which really should just be a nicer version of your model written out for a post on whatever preferred media platform you have. Again, you don't have to actually post it if you don't want to. It can be a dummy post. And so you'll kind of use your model for that. So that's due on Thursday. I would like a draft Friday or Saturday, and then final draft, because I'm going to try to do my best to read as many of them as I can over the weekend. And then final draft is probably, I said Monday, I'm probably going to push it to Tuesday. But so my goal is that by the beginning of next week, we're done and we're moving on. Yeah, and so Anaya, the Earth energy model is just a diagram of the feedback loop, but you also want to make sure in the diagram it includes energy. So if anyone wants to give me an example of something, I could, or I'll just make one up here really quick. No, no one's quick enough. So let's say, for example, what's a good one? Oh, let's do decomposition because I'm actually good at that. So let's say your model was based off of decomposition, which is when you have organic matter gets broken down by microorganisms. And as things get broken down, they release methane and CO2, carbon dioxide. And when this happens, it heats up. So that's our energy coming in there. And then the more it heats up, the faster things get broken down. And the more things get broken down, the methane and CO2 is created, which heats it up, which makes it go faster. And so we have, this all starts with the sun's energy, which goes into creation of matter from plant matter, and then from there it just kind of cycles up. So this is a positive feedback loop. Can't email. Yeah, Micaiah, I'll go back and read and respond to your email. I don't think we did a whole lot more learning on feedback loops. There are some learning assignments on the old Google Classroom that you can do, Micaiah, but there's not really a whole lot more. If you guys want, I can post additional resources, like such as videos on the webpage, if that would be helpful, going over feedback loops again. So I can do that today. So hopefully it gives you guys a little bit more background knowledge and material. But main thing to finish up Anaya's question is, yes, you want to do the feedback loop, but you also want to include, well, what's happening to the energy. And so most of your feedback loops probably include that already, but just make sure that is a part of it, since we're still technically in the energy unit. Okay, Isabella, I got you. I will do that. So yeah, so for your research, you want to figure out, well, whatever it is your topic is. So for example, if my topic was decomposition, I would want to look up, well, how is that related to the heat? When does it happen occur? What does it occur? What are some solutions? Is this a good process, a bad process, a process we can control? What things can be done about it? So your research is very open-ended. That's why it's very hard for me to tell you guys exactly what to do, because your research is your research. It's whatever you figure out. Your main goal from your research is to figure out what is going on, why is it happening, and what can be done about it. So what is it? Why is it happening? And what can we do about it? Is it something we should let happen? Is it something we should help go faster? Is it something we should try to slow down? What kind of process is it? Is it something we want to continue or want to stop? And so depending on what you're going for, that would change. So decomposition by itself is a necessary life process. We can't just have things lying around. They have to be decomposed into matter. The issue is how much stuff and the rate that it's happening. And depending on conditions, we can either produce more methane or less methane, therefore making it a better process or a worse process for our overall greenhouse gas count. But yeah, so if you're feeling a little confused and feeling a little daunted, that's okay. This is a huge research topic. And my goal for you guys is not for it to be perfect, but for us to start figuring out, well, let's delve into the complexity of a single topic. It's no use teaching you guys about 20 things when really I want you to just learn really well about one, and you can start transferring that knowledge to other places. Great question, Eileen. And so I'll definitely be posting more information on feedback loops. I think I've already posted a list of options you can choose from. I'll go check. It might be in the old classroom, so I'll repost it into the new classroom. Again, thanks to people who have been moving over. Yeah, so Isabella, the best way to do that is text me on Remind, but more importantly, share it with me on Google Classroom. I have a feeling, Isabella, that you're probably just putting in the numbers wrong, because there's really no reason it shouldn't let you. I can submit things to turn it in on my end. It just takes a lot longer to do so. So yeah, feel free, preferably email me if you can, just because I can respond and do more things on there faster. But either way, to contact me will work. All right, any other questions, or we feel like we're good for the day? Cool, I'm gonna go grab my dog then, have her sign off for me. Juniper, come here. Oh, you wanna be on Zuko? Here's Zuko. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, yeah. Oh, you hate this. You hate this. Yes. And so here's a different dog. This is Zuko. Say hello to Zuko. He does not like being picked up, but he's being a good boy. And to reach me, it depends what you want to do. If you just want a quick question, Remind is fine. If you want to send me documents, email tends to be way better. But either one will work, especially during my work hours because I'm on Remind. Remind doesn't work on my phone for whatever reason, but it works for here. As far as whether or not we're canceling school for the rest of the year, there have been no updates. I know about as much as you do. You'll probably find out before me. So we don't know a whole lot right now. We know it's at least going to last till after spring break. So theoretically, we come back after spring break and we continue. Obviously, things are changing as things are changing. So it's really hard for me to give you any definitive answers, unfortunately. So Anaya, you can take that where you want it. So Anaya had a great question of like, do you want us to tackle all angles or just one? I would probably err on the side of making your topic smaller, because if you try to focus on all of them, your letter is going to be like a 10-page letter because there's so much to write about. And so it's absolutely okay to focus on just one particular part of the issue because we can't expect to solve everything at once, but we can promote certain things in certain areas that will help. So say if you're doing deforestation, you might want to focus particularly on the rainforest or on local deforestation or how to like green up cities so that they are more energy effective. So you can pick any one of those and focus on them, and then that will change who you're writing to. But wonderful question. So if you really want to tackle it all, feel free. But I think it would, in the long run, it would be easier to do smaller chunks, smaller pieces. But yeah, deforestation has a lot you could go through. Yeah, Isabella, so this all should be listed on the Google Classroom as long with due dates and a place to turn them in. I have posted some examples from other performance tasks. The persuasive letter is a new thing we're doing, so I don't have any examples of that. Hopefully on this page, and again, this document, if you weren't there in the last day of school to pick it up, it is online. But this kind of goes through how your letter should look. And then if you turn in a draft, I'm going to be commenting on this Saturday and Sunday, reading over them, seeing how they look, giving you guys some advice. All right, so I'm doing the ice albedo for the energy we come in by causing global. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by your question, Eileen. So we are talking about ice albedo. So the energy comes in from our ultimate energy source, the sun. And then your question as far as your feedback loop is where do we go from there? So energy from the sun comes in, but then ice reflects some of that. However, as the earth is warming, we're going to see differing effects. And so you absolutely can look up models that professionals have done, but I do want you to draw your own and draw your own conclusions and use this to post on social media. So if it's too simple, all right, you can make it more complex. If it's too complex, you might want to simplify it because your social media post is probably not aimed at research scientists. Your social media post is probably aimed at the common person who has no idea what the word albedo means. So keep that in mind. Your audience for your social media post and your audience for your persuasive letter are a little different. Although, maybe your persuasive letter is written to a politician who doesn't really know that much about science. So you might want to keep it simple there too. And so again, I'm going to be commenting. So if at any point I'm like, oh, wait, it could be better this way, I will comment and return it to you instead of just like laying down a harsh grade. So rather than making sure it's perfect, it's better just to turn it in. And if anything's wrong, I'll let you know and I'll return it back to you so you can work on it. Because I know it's very hard to receive feedback from me otherwise. So hopefully, again, that answered a lot of your guys' questions. If any more pop up, I will answer them. I try to like to keep these under 30 minutes. We're hitting that 20-minute mark. But if you guys have any other questions, I will absolutely answer them. Um, but yeah, again, research, figure out what's going on. Why is this happening, and what are some things we can do to fix it? Model, drawn by you or someone in your group or together, going over what's happening with the energy. So this is a very simple one. I would expect yours to be a little more complex depending on your topic. Social media post, I would use your model and like post it in a nice format. Your persuasive letter draft is now you've chosen an audience, something you want to write about, and it's a call to action. You want them to do something about this problem, and you want to tell them why they should do it, why should it be important to them, and what are some things that they can do. And then once you have your draft, you want to work with your group to have a final draft, and then turn it into turnitin.com and Google Classroom. And so your final draft is the one that I want to make sure looks good, because we, again, are sending these out. So if I'm going to be spending money on postage stamps, I want to make sure we're sending something good. All right, so I hope you guys are doing well. Stay healthy. Don't get too mad at your family. I know it's probably hard staying at home all the time, but wish you guys luck, and I will be here. This is Tuesday, so Thursday. So you guys are going to do every Tuesday, Thursday at 1 p.m. So if you want to come and ask questions, I will see you guys Thursday, or email, remind. I'm trying to be contactable. Bye.